Right now, you'd happily eat a slice of raw fish, hand you the same size piece of raw chicken, and your body would try to veto it. The recoil, the held breath, the flat no before you've thought a single thing. Same plate, same morning, both equally fresh. One's dinner, one's a 911 call. And the strange part isn't the disgust. It's that your gut is right every single time, and it decided before you did. Not because fish is cleaner, not because you grew up on sushi. It's running a rule older than cooking, quietly adding up how much of you is sitting on that plate. And it leaves one thread it flat out refuses to explain. If a freezer is all it takes to make raw fish safe, why can't you just freeze a steak and eat that raw too? Hang on to that. By the last minute, you'll know exactly what your disgust has been protecting you from, and why, for one kind of flesh, no freezer on Earth is enough. Start with the fish, because the idea that raw fish is a fragile modern trend falls apart the moment you look at it. People have eaten it raw for about as long as they've eaten anything. Coastal sites in Japan show raw seafood on the menu thousands of years before anyone called it sashimi. Peru solved it with acid instead of flame. Ceviche's citrus firms raw fish without heat. For people who lived beside water, raw fish wasn't daring. It was lunch, which lands on the thing you're already bracing for. Parasites. A worm called anisakis hides in the flesh of fish such as cod, mackerel, and wild salmon. Get a live one on the way down and it can bury itself in the lining of your gut. Cramps, vomiting, occasionally an ER visit to get it out. Real and nasty. And almost never what's in the sushi in front of you, thanks to one unglamorous thing: cold. In the US, the law makes most fish bound for raw service sit in a deep freeze first, a week at 20 below, or a harder commercial freeze that's done in about 15 hours. Anisakis can't survive it. The worm that shadowed seafood for millennia is dead on arrival, killed days before your plate. Hold on to that freezer. We're back at it standing over a steak. And not every fish is equal. River fish tend to carry a messier load of parasites than saltwater species, which is part of why classic sushi stuck to the ocean, and why raw salmon almost always comes off a farm rather than out of a wild river. Now, turn to raw meat, and the danger changes shape. With fish, the enemy was a worm, something a freezer kills. With beef, pork, and chicken, the worm isn't the story. Bacteria are E. coli, Salmonella, Campylobacter. Here's the quiet fact under it. Every one of them got its start in the digestive tract of something warm-blooded. A cow, a pig, a bird. And you're warm-blooded too. Line up a cow, a chicken, and a person, and their insides all sit at roughly the same temperature. So a bug thriving in one of them lands in the next with the conditions already matched and starts feeding right away. Chicken is where you feel it hardest. Campylobacter alone makes an estimated 1.5 million Americans sick every year, and raw or undercooked poultry is one of its favorite ways in. That's not a rare accident. It's one of the most dependably recorded foodborne illnesses in the country. So that whole body no you feel over a raw chicken breast isn't fussiness. It's millions of people's worst afternoons compiled into a reflex you were handed for free. A fish never gets that edge. A cod spends its whole life in water cold enough to drop you, and the bugs in its gut are built for that cold. Move them into the warm dark of a human stomach, and they're lost. Wrong climate, wrong everything. The heat keeping you alive is, to them, a wall they can't climb. There's an idea in disease ecology that ties this together. The closer two animals are related, the more easily a germ crosses between them. Some researchers call it the phylogenetic distance effect. But picture a dial. One end, creatures nearly identical to you. The far end, creatures so distant they might as well be alien. Slide the dial toward your own body, and whatever lives in your food finds you more familiar, easier to invade, easier to survive. Slide it away, and they get lost. Fish versus meat was never the question. It was always where your dinner sits on that dial. Swing the dial toward you and watch. Pork sits far closer to you than any fish, and for centuries it was the raw meat people feared most. A parasite called Trichinella traveled in raw and lightly cooked pork for generations. Muscle pain, fever, and, some years, funerals. At its US peak last century, health departments logged hundreds of cases annually until feed laws, inspection, and home freezers cut it to almost nothing. People feared raw pork long before anyone found the parasite. The toll did the teaching. Push the dial harder and you leave the farm entirely, out to our nearest relatives. Meat from wild chimpanzees and gorillas sits behind some of the ugliest cross-species infections known. HIV, by the leading account, reached people from a chimpanzee virus this very way, through butchering and eating, decades before it had a name. When your dinner carries nearly your whole genome, the bridge a pathogen must cross is mostly already built. Now send the dial the opposite direction. Past cattle, past everything, until you reach fish. The last ancestor you shared with a salmon was swimming around some 400 million years back. Your split from cattle came far, far later. That's plenty of time for a fish's hitchhikers to lose any idea how to survive in a body like yours. A cow's tenants haven't had a fraction as long to forget. Except the dial isn't only about the family tree. And here's the fact that should tip the whole thing over. People across the Arctic have eaten raw and fermented whale, seal, and walrus for centuries. Those are mammals, far nearer to you than any fish. Going by relatedness alone, raw whale should be the worst bet than raw beef. It's the opposite. And the reason is temperature. Those animals spend their entire lives near freezing, so what they carry is the same cold-loving crowd that left your cod harmless. Distance isn't only how related you are, it's also how cold your dinner grew up. And it runs both directions because our disgust at raw meat clearly isn't a fixed human setting. Germany eats raw pork by the plateful. It's called Met. France has steak tartare. Korea has yuko. Raw meat only became unthinkable in the places where a food poisoning disaster taught people to dread it. The psychologist Paul Rosen, a disgust researcher, framed it well. Our food fears behave less like instinct and more like a grudge a whole culture nurses. Scalded once, careful for generations. American dread of raw chicken rests on a recent run of salmonella outbreaks. The ease with raw fish on century upon century of people beside the sea learning what was safe. So here's the answer your gut had the whole time. Freezing works on fish because the only thing hiding in there is a cold water parasite that was never built to survive anywhere warm. Drop the temperature and it's gone. But the things riding along in raw meat aren't cold water anything. They're bacteria that came up inside a body running the exact temperature of yours, and to them a freezer is just a long nap. They thaw out in your gut and pick up right where they left off. That's why you could freeze a steak for a year and eating it raw is still a coin flip. And why it's fire, not cold, that ends the argument. So every time you flinch at raw chicken and reach happily for raw tuna, you're not being fussy or fancy. You're the final draft of a very long experiment. Thousands of people who guessed wrong, so the guess would be wired into you by birth. A fish barely counts as you. A chicken is practically a cousin, and your body has never once confused the two. So tell me this, what's the one raw thing you eat without blinking that makes everyone at your table nervous? And now that you know the rule, are they right to worry, or are you? Drop it in the comments. I want to see where your gut lands on the distance dial. And if this rewired how you'll look at your next meal, subscribe. I go hunting for the reason behind one of these every week.